Ben & Jerry's is not just ice cream. It's a symbol of creativity, freedom, and joy, sealed inside millions of iconic tubs across the world. Every day, the company's factories produce enough ice cream to fill dozens of swimming pools. But how is this legendary treat actually made? Today, we'll step behind the scenes into a world where fresh cream, rich cocoa, juicy berries, and giant chunks of cookie dough are transformed into a true dessert celebration. At the heart of every Ben & Jerry's ice cream lies fresh milk and cream. These come from Vermont farms, organized into cooperatives where animal welfare and sustainable practices are top priorities. The milk arrives at the factory in massive tankers and is transferred into giant stainless steel silos, each capable of holding up to 6,000 gallons. Here, the milk is kept at carefully controlled temperatures to preserve its freshness and flavor. Soon it will be blended with cream, sugar, and other base ingredients. This combination becomes the foundation of ice cream, a smooth, velvety mix that will later be enriched with flavors, textures, and the legendary chunks and swirls that make Ben & Jerry's so unique. Next, the milk and cream flow into special mixing vats. Huge paddles spin at high speed, creating a perfectly uniform blend. At this stage, sugar is added, along with egg yolks for certain recipes, and cocoa powder for chocolate bases. Ben & Jerry's relies on two main bases: sweet cream base, the foundation for most flavors, from vanilla to half-baked; chocolate base, a rich foundation for chocolate-heavy varieties like chocolate therapy. Here, the creamy body of the ice cream is born, the canvas for the wide palette of flavors to come. The mixture is still too raw and must be made safe. This is where pasteurization comes in. Huge heat exchangers raise the temperature of the mix to 180 irresistibly, about 82 degrees, in just seconds. The high heat destroys any potentially harmful microorganisms, but thanks to the rapid heat and cool method, the taste and structure remain intact. Within moments, the mixture is cooled back down and transferred into holding tanks. Before moving on, the mix rests for 4 to 8 hours in chilled tanks. This stage is essential. During aging, the ingredients bond, creating a balanced flavor and smooth, creamy texture. For Ben & Jerry's technologists, this step is like aging cheese or wine, except here, ice cream is born. After aging, it's time to add character. The mix flows into flavor vats, enormous tanks designed for infusing flavors. Vanilla extract, peppermint, strawberry puree, coffee, caramel. Each vat saturates the base with its unique profile. Precision mixing ensures every liter of mix has the same consistent intensity. This is where the famous balance is achieved. Never too weak, never overwhelming. Now the magic of cold begins. The mixture enters freezers, cylindrical chambers where temperatures instantly drop below freezing. Inside, powerful blades churn and cool the mix at the same time. The result? Air is evenly whipped into the mixture, transforming it into a light, fluffy product. This is the exact moment when the liquid base turns into ice cream. At this stage, the texture resembles soft serve, creamy and airy, but still too pliable. Perfect for the next step, adding the chunks and swirls. This is what makes millions of fans loyal to the brand. Huge cookie pieces, brownie chunks, caramel ribbons, and chocolate chips are added to the ice cream through chunk feeders. Dosing machines that insert mix-ins evenly without breaking them apart. Workers load entire boxes of ingredients into the feeders. The system is designed to preserve size and texture, so no cookie is crushed and no swirl is too thin. That's why when you open a tub, you always find whole chunks of brownie or thick fudge ribbons waiting for you. At this stage, the ice cream is ready for filling, but it's still soft. To become the dense, scoopable treat we all know, it now heads for hardening. When the ice cream comes out of the freezers, filled with chunks and swirls, it is still too soft. To give it the familiar density, the product goes through the hardening process. Tubs of ice cream are sent into blast freezers, chambers of ultra-rapid freezing. Temperatures there drop to 40 degrees Celsius and below. In just minutes, the soft mix transforms into solid, stable ice cream, ready for storage and transport. This shock of cold not only gives the ice cream its form, but also preserves its structure. Large cookie pieces don't get soggy, caramel swirls stay thick, and chocolate doesn't crumble. This is where the very texture customers expect is born. In parallel with hardening, the filling line is in full swing. Huge dosing machines fill the iconic Ben & Jerry's cartons with gram-level precision. Every detail matters. Each tub must be filled exactly to the rim. No empty pockets or bubbles. Every container must have the same amount of ice cream and mix-ins. Once filled, lids are sealed airtight, and the tubs move down the line. Everything happens at lightning speed, thousands of tubs per hour, tens of thousands per shift. At this stage, the ice cream is ready, but it needs its passport. Machines print each tub with a unique batch code, production date, and expiration date. Next, tubs pass through a grouping system. Robots pack them into boxes and onto pallets, wrap them in protective film, and prepare them for storage. But the most important part is the signature design. Bright labels with cows, green hills, and quirky flavor names are the brand's calling card. Thanks to its packaging, Ben & Jerry's is impossible to confuse with any other ice cream. No batch leaves the factory without rigorous testing. In special laboratories, specialists check the ice cream at every stage, measuring temperature and consistency, testing air content, known as overrun, which affects texture, tasting flavor and aroma against a standard. Yes, Ben & Jerry's has professional ice cream tasters. Their job is to catch the slightest deviations. If a batch fails, it is sent back for reprocessing. After packaging, tubs head to massive freezer warehouses kept at around 30 degrees Celsius. This ensures freshness and flavor are preserved during the entire journey to the customer. From there, a global logistics network takes over. Refrigerated trucks, containers, and air freight deliver ice cream to supermarkets and cafes worldwide. Every batch is tracked by its unique code, from factory to store shelf. This guarantees both freshness and transparency of supply. Ben & Jerry's is famous for its incredible variety. Factories create dozens of flavors, from classics like vanilla and chocolate fudge brownie, to experimental hits like Chunky Monkey or Half-Baked. Each flavor requires unique technology. One may include peanut butter. Another gets a thick caramel ribbon. A third is packed with whole brownie or cookie chunks. This flexibility allows the brand to surprise and delight customers again and again. But Ben & Jerry's is about more than taste. The company actively supports sustainable production by using milk from farmers who prioritize animal welfare, transitioning to packaging made from recycled materials, reducing CO2 emissions with renewable energy at factories, recycling leftovers like cookie scraps or fruit into feed or compost. Every tub is not just a dessert, but part of a global effort to protect the planet. The story of every Ben & Jerry's tub begins in green pastures, where cows graze, and ends in a freezer at your local supermarket. It's the work of thousands of people, advanced technology, and care for the environment. Each spoonful is not just a treat, but a symbol that food can be tasty, honest, and sustainable. Ben & Jerry's is more than ice cream. It's an experience, a lifestyle, and a little happiness you can always find in the freezer.